Hi everybody, my name's Ryan Daniel. My original area of expertise is music, and I'm currently standing in the score collection, the musical score collection of the Eddie Koiki Mabo Library in Townsville. As you can see, this is just one aisle of a massive collection of print scores that the university has. There are also thousands of oral scores, so in other words, performances on CD. And it's everything from works for piano solo, so a single person, right through to scores of orchestras. And you can see here an example. This is a full orchestral score, whereas something like this is written for piano students or piano players. So it's a wonderful collection. So some of the features of this collection include, if we take one of the most famous composers in the world, is that the collection includes editions which include images of Bach's original handwritten notation. So this would have been may not have been the very, very original, but it would have been one of the first ever fully written and notated versions of the score. And it's only through the use of the modern day printing press that something like this then starts to look like this. But the beauty of this is to be able to see and get a sense of how he used notation to put on the page his oral creative ambitions. The collection also includes what you would call romanticised or collections of works presented in let's call it a romantic style. You can just see by the text that's used, or it's a little bit harder to read there. But when we get into the actual data source, the score, you can see it's a very floral, romantic style of text, the very common image of, in this case, a cellist working with somebody at a keyboard. So you're really getting a sense of some of the features of the visual side of the world when these works are composed. So here we've got statues. And then for every work in this book, there's an accompanying image. Now, funnily enough, there really isn't much of a relationship between that image and the actual musical score, but this is how it was presented at the time. See, this here would have been printed. There's not a year on it, but sometime in the early 1900s, perhaps, could even be earlier. So it becomes a very strong historical record of that point in time. The other great thing that this collection enables one to do is to look at composition and the creation of sound, in this case text-based, across centuries. So again, back to our friend Johannes Bach, we're talking mid-1600s here, or 17th century. Here in our romantic styled collection of works with images, we're talking 19th century, possibly early 20th when this was produced, right through to 21st century, and an Australian composer, Elena Katz-Chernin, very famous composer. You can see here on the left is her sketch and her notation style and form. And here, the modern or the commercial version of her original notation. So whether it's 1600s or 21st century, composers have been applying similar techniques right across that period of time, and clearly before that as well. So you can really get a sense of history by looking through the different scores from different periods in time.